What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. During the last part, we saw the conclusion to the Cell games, as well as what's been happening in the future timeline. Kakarot was able to unlock a new realm of power against Cell, and as for his kids, both in the present and future, they have also evolved in terms of strength too. But specifically for his kids in the present timeline, where are they going to go next in power, and where's Kakarot going to go too? How about the rest of the group? They definitely still have a lot that they can do, and we're going to be seeing more of that here as we go into the Buu Saga. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes. If we hit that, I'll continue with another part to the series. Anyways, let's pick it from here. Now we enter a 7-year time skip, and there's one big thing that happens here that I do want to mention. It involves Kame. After watching all this stuff going on, he realizes he might not be that effective of a god. It's not that he isn't doing his job well, it's just that he might not be strong enough for the position anymore. Especially after hearing what happened to his future self. He feels like he's helpless. And he is the guardian of Earth after all. He feels like he needs to be stronger. And he knows exactly what to do. King Piccolo sought the Dragon Balls before in order to restore his youth. And Kame actually tried to do that too. But at the last second, he actually has a very different idea. He summoned Shenron, and he's about to wish for his youth. And he changes the wish. Instead of getting his youth back, he asks Shenron, fuse Piccolo's power into him. Piccolo Jr. is still sealed away somewhere. And by now, if he let Piccolo go, of course he wouldn't be an issue for anyone to fight. But Kame realized that if he used that power to merge back into the Namekian he was before, maybe that'll help him be a more effective god. Using Shenron's power might be able to do this. Shenron asks if his creator is sure, and Kame says he wants to do this. Thankfully, the Dragon Balls have been tweaked by now and they're strong enough to actually do something like this. Not that it's a huge task at all, it's just that it might have been tough before. Kame hopes that this works. Before, when he became a god, he had to split Piccolo away from him to get rid of that evilness. But if they merge together, it might be a purely neutral being, which isn't exactly a bad thing. And in the worst case scenario where something bad does happen and he turns evil or something, well, he's sure the rest of the group will figure out a way to stop it. Shenron grants the wish. Kame begins powering up, surprised at this new strength. And the wish is twofold. By merging with Piccolo, it brings his youth back as well. Or at least partially. He still is old, but not as frail as before. It's a strange feeling, to feel this reinvigorated again. He still will go by the name Kame, but as far as he's concerned, he tells the others that he's a nameless Namekian now. The same one who arrived on Earth many years ago. But even with this fusion, there's still an issue. He feels like he might still not be strong enough, but this is a good step. He now has the ability to actually train more and more. Before he was only teaching others, but now he can actually improve himself. And he has the perfect place to go for this, the Room of Spirit and Time. Of course, Kakarot and the rest of the group are surprised to hear this. Kame didn't leave them in the dark, but still, seeing this transformation was something else. They knew he was going to do it, but the results were way different than they expected. And this might actually be good for them too. Kame wants to be more proactive. He wants to actually join the group and help them, especially after hearing what happened in the future timeline. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to be able to defend the Dragon Balls. With how important and powerful they are, he can't have them getting into the wrong hands. And of course, he does trust the group to protect them. But if it ends up like the future where he's the last line of defense against the Dragon Balls, he wants some of his own power, not relying on others. Over this time, Kakarot continues training with his sons. As I mentioned in the previous parts, Gohan and Goten are both different than their normal selves. They lean more towards their Saiyan nature than their human nature. Not to say that they're bad or anything, they're just battle-loving Saiyans like their father. The three of them spend a lot of time training together. It's pretty fun too, and they get stronger. Kakarot continues work on Super Saiyan 2, and eventually, Gohan gets it. At some point, even Goten gets it, although that's a little bit further on into this time skip. But also at times, they can't all be training together. Kakarot actually trains under Kame at some points. Kame's still not at the level of Kakarot, yet, but he's gonna keep training for it. This training will help him improve in strength, but now that he's stronger, he can actually train Kakarot more effectively, showing him more things that he might have not known before. And while Kakarot's with Kame, of course the kids are free to join, but they'd rather go with ROSHI instead. ROSHI spends more time training them, especially Goten. Consider the fact that Goten's way younger than everyone else, so he kinda needs this more than anyone. But Gohan's pretty far along in his training. Now the question is, will this lead to him becoming the Great Saiyaman or something? Well, I feel like at the very least he would become that golden warrior that he was before. Although that disguise is very hard to keep up, and Videl eventually does find out that it's him. I mean, it's obvious. It's just him with golden hair and blue eyes. So maybe he does need a disguise. But either way, he still does end up meeting Videl, and he does end up going to high school even though he is more motivated to train. It's not like he's just gonna sit at home learning nothing and doing nothing. Yeah, Chi-Chi is definitely more involved and does want her kids training, but she also does want them studying. It's just now that they have more of a balance between that. And since we're already here, that means we're basically done with the time skip. Now we could begin the Buu Saga. There's another tournament coming up, and this will be a great opportunity for everyone to test their strength. Kame even wants to join too. Not only will it let him experience the strength of his students up close, but he'll get to test his own strength. Although, he's not the only teacher thinking like that. ROSHI has the same mindset. Roshi hasn't been sitting around doing nothing. He's been getting stronger too, at least as much as he can. It wouldn't be the first time he joined the tournament to fight against his students. It's just that by this point, they'd see through the disguise, so he just enters as Roshi instead of Jackie Chun. Both he and Kame know that their students have become great warriors by now. And what better way to test it than a tournament? Roshi says that this is a very effective method, and Kame's curious to see how this will go. But Kame then notices something strange. In the crowd, there's a presence. A really strange, unworldly, overwhelming presence. Roshi's confused because something changes about Kame, his demeanor. It gets completely different. Roshi asks him what's going on, and Kame doesn't really want to say, but he tells Roshi anyways because he trusts him. For some reason, there's a Supreme Kai here. A Supreme Kai? What's that? Kame begins explaining to the best of his knowledge. But basically, they're the highest tier of Kais that you can get. Basically the god of everything. Not the strongest god in existence, but one of the most influential. And there's not just one Kai here, there's two. But why are they here? Why now? Kame decides he's gonna confront them. He wants to know what's going on, because if they're here in person, something bad must be happening. Shin and Kibito aren't surprised when Kame comes up to them. Of course he'd be able to see right through their presence. And, well, they decide it's best to just tell them what they have going on. Kame hears about Boo, and they hear at this tournament, they'll find a fighter that's under the control of Babidi, and maybe that'll lead them to the ship. But Kame's confused. Does that mean one of their own fighters are gonna be put out as bait? Well, yeah, that's the only way they're gonna be able to find the ship. Kame says they should at least fill him in on this. Maybe they could do something else. But wait, what's he talking about? He's Kame. He can literally see everything on Earth. And frankly, he's surprised that the Kais can't just do this too. He wants to avoid this plan. And he doesn't say this, but he thinks that it's kind of stupid. And then finds out that Shin and Kibito could read his thoughts. He apologizes, but Shin and Kibito see what he's saying. Okay, we'll try it Kame's way, and if it doesn't work, then they'll go back to this plan. It's flawed, but it definitely would work. But Kame, he might actually be able to figure out something. He tells everyone he'll be right back, then teleporting to the lookout. He quickly surveys Earth, with the lookout speeding around in the sky. And then he's able to hone in on something, a weird, ominous, evil presence. He was so caught up in his training and everything, he never even noticed this before. It's in the middle of nowhere, and this definitely has to be it. Shin and Kibito confirm. Well, they've located the ship. Kame was looking forward to the tournament, but he knows that this is important. He ends up forfeiting, unsure if he should tell his students, but he has pretty good judgment and decides maybe it's best to tell them. The tournament isn't important compared to this. This sounds like a big threat. At first, they are kind of bummed to hear this out, but hearing that they might have strong fights still does hype people like Kakarot up, although the rest aren't as hyped as him. They're kind of concerned, especially after hearing about the Supreme Kai and the Kibito. They're able to get there pretty quickly, and they might be able to sneak attack Babidi too. Everyone grabs on the Kame as he transports them away. And everyone at the tournament just looks on confused because a majority of the fighters just disappeared out of nowhere. They arrive nearby Babidi's ship. So you're probably thinking right now, great, he's gonna skip the Boo saga again. He's making things easy for the group. But no, I actually have a way to make the Boo saga happen. It's just that realistically, in this scenario with Kame being more involved, Shin's plan is kind of dumb, and having Kame there really helps them find Babidi's ship quickly. But that doesn't mean everything's gonna go smoothly, not in the slightest. They arrive, and Deborah can immediately sense their presence, as can Babidi. Oh, that's interesting. The Guardian of Earth is here, as well as the Supreme Kai and his attendant. He tells Deborah to attack them, and quickly, Deborah lunges out. His first target is Kame. Just as he's about to launch a blast at Kame, he powers up quickly, then teleporting out of the way, appearing behind Deborah. Deborah quickly swipes his arm back, trying to attack him, but then he's paralyzed midair. What? Why is the Guardian of Earth this strong? Even the rest of the group is surprised. Kame says he was keeping this power under wraps for the tournament, but he has been training as much as possible. Fusing with Piccolo did give him a bunch of power, but the real treat was him going into the Room of Spirit and Time. Going in for multiple days over this time skip, probably even multiple weeks. No one knows how he had the mental fortitude to handle that, but he's Kame. He's the god of Earth. Give him some credit. But still, even with him powering up, he was only able to briefly catch Deborah off guard. Deborah is pretty powerful, and eventually Kame is overwhelmed, but Kakarot transforms, protecting his teacher and helping out. Shin and Kibito warn them, stop Deborah before it's too late. If this fight goes on for too long, Babidi's just gonna collect a bunch of energy, and Kakarot acknowledges this. Deborah seems pretty strong. It reminds him of fighting Cell, but the thing is Kakarot's way stronger than he was then, so this fight won't be too hard. He and Kame fight together for the first time in ever, which is weird because they've mostly trained together. This is the first time they actually fought side by side. And it's an interesting experience. Of course they'd fight together well, having trained together so much. Combine Kame's new power with his techniques and magic, as well as Kakarot's raw strength and abilities, and it's a pretty easy fight for them. Deborah is dismantled quickly, and they have no qualms about killing him right away. Before he's able to cause any damage, Deborah is dealt with. Babidi watches on from his ship. Oh crap, things are turning bad real quick. Immediately after Deborah is killed, everyone infiltrates the ship, killing the rest of Babidi's henchmen. He's frantically trying to figure out a plan. He needs to protect himself for now and Boo's egg. But he does have one idea. He's not sure if it's gonna work, but maybe it will. He tries to infiltrate the minds of everyone there. And there's a few candidates. Kame himself seems to have some sort of evilness within him, and Babidi's not sure why. Babidi wants to try and exploit that evilness, but it might be a bit too hard. If he does possess Kame, that will alert the others of his ability, and Kame's not the strongest fighter, so it would be easy to defeat him. But more interestingly, there's the Saiyans there. The half Saiyans seem pretty good. There's not too much evilness to exploit within them. They still have that Saiyan nature, but not enough to actually help Babidi here. It's more present in Gohan, given him being born earlier and all and being more similar to Kakarot. Within that focuses attention to Kakarot, one of the strongest in the group right now. That Saiyan nature within him, he could probably exploit it, and it probably won't work, but it's at least worth a shot. It's the only thing he has in mind right now, and at the very least, it will buy him time. So, he begins working his magic, and Kakarot feels it. Someone's trying to take over him, possess him. The thing is here, Kakarot's not gonna give into it willingly, but it's a huge struggle to try and fight it. Shin and Kame try helping it, with Shin telling everyone what's going on, as the two work together to help Kakarot. And for a brief second, it seems like Babidi's gonna win, but he realizes this isn't gonna work. Although he continues trying to do this, and at the same time, he has another plan. Well, this is also a long shot and is very risky, but they're distracted right now, so this might work. As Kakarot struggles to not be taken over, he then feels a sharp pain in his foot, falling to the ground, and no one knows what happened. And then they see it. They pick Kakarot up and there's a hole in the floor, a spike stuck through it. It was kind of weird to do this and hard to maneuver, but Babidi started absorbing Kakarot's energy by sticking his device through the floor, stabbing it right up in his foot. And that's how they know that Babidi's right below them, but it's already too late. He's teleported away with this energy, and now he has a pretty decent amount. Okay, this might work. That served as a good distraction. He doesn't have a Majin servant, but it's fine. He got all this energy from Kakarot by stabbing him. Sure, he could have gotten a little bit more, but this is about half what he needs to actually get Boo revived. And then he realizes, wait, he still does have some Majin servants. They didn't kill everyone. Spopovich and Yamu are still at the tournament. And Babidi has the perfect idea. He teleports away out of the ship. As they tear the ship apart to look for him, no one can find him at all. They do find Boo's egg, but before they can even try and attack it, they're all teleported away to the tournament by Babidi. They look around confused. How'd they get back here? But then they see, everything's in complete disarray. Spopovich and Yamu are going around terrorizing everyone, with Babidi there as the ringleader. He might have not gotten energy from all of these fighters, but there still were some at the tournament, and a bunch of humans here too. They completely blew their cover, and now they've gotten all this energy from the tournament grounds. Immediately as they try and attack, Babidi teleports away with his two servants. Crap, they lost him again. Oh yeah, and just for some fun and to help boost their power, Babidi didn't actually teleport away. He teleports nearby, quickly stabbing Gohan and trying to drain some of his energy. But as soon as they're about to attack him, he creates a shield and teleports off again. He didn't steal too much from Gohan, but it was a nice little boost that he needed, as well as all the strength from the tournament grounds. Damn it, what a coward. And now Kakarot's pissed, as is Gohan. Kame says to control their anger, don't let it get the best of them, because that could lead to a bad thing here. They will defeat this guy, and Kame teleports everyone back over there. They arrive just in time, and immediately before any words are exchanged, Kakarot launches a massive attack. Babidi creates a shield, throwing Spopovich and Yamu in front of him as well. They're killed by the blast, but he tells them to wait, don't kill him yet. There's already enough energy for Boo. What? And yeah, they look over at the egg. Something weird's happening with it. Steam comes out of it, and Babidi tells them, if they kill him, no one's gonna be there to control Boo. It's already too late, and yeah, they could kill him, but then Boo would just be rampaging mindlessly. Wouldn't it be better to have Babidi commanding him? They think for a second. Crap, this is bad. But they know how crafty Babidi is. They saw him fight just now. This is just a flat-out lie. Without hesitation, Gohan puts a hand up, launching a blast that kills Babidi. He turns to Shin, Kibito, and Kame apologizing. But he says that what Babidi was saying is pure BS. Either way, with or without Babidi, they're screwed. They just don't need him meddling in this anymore. And if Boo can't be controlled without Babidi, they'll deal with it somehow. Because if he does need someone to control him, that means he's probably some sort of mindless rampaging creature, as Shin described him before. Babidi would give him intelligence. They could at least take that away from Boo, even if they can't take away his power. They watch on as the egg hatches. Well, what Gohan said actually does sound right. And yeah, they didn't need Babidi either. That would just make things worse, if anything. The egg hatches, and Boo steps out. This power. It's unlike anything they've ever sensed before. And this is where we'll leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? And what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we get another part of the series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon so you're notified about any future uploads on my channel, including any other parts of the series, or just any other videos I upload in general. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.